I'm the King of Technology. Episode 3 Coal Technologies. The morning sun rose over Neo Haven City, its golden rays reflecting from towering glass skyscrapers as flying vehicles crossed the dizzy skyline. The city was alive with innovation, but inside a small apartment on the edge of the city, Ethan Cole had barely slept. Blueprints, electronic components, and tools were scattered across the room. The anti-gravity cube hovered silently above his workbench, casting a soft blue glow over the exhausted young engineer. Nova's calm voice broke the silence. Sleep duration, 3 hours and 12 minutes. Your mental efficiency has decreased by 17%. Ethan stretched his sore arms and smiled. I'll sleep when I change the world. Although he had lost his job at Technova, Ethan no longer felt defeated. Instead, he felt something he hadn't experienced in years: freedom. For the first time, he could create technology without anyone controlling his ideas. After a quick breakfast, Ethan walked into his old garage behind the apartment. Dust covered forgotten shelves, broken furniture filled the corners, and rusty tools hung from the walls. He looked around and smiled. This will do. For the next several hours, Ethan transformed the abandoned garage into a laboratory. He assembled workbenches, installed computer monitors, organized electronic equipment, and connected power supplies. With Nova projecting holographic blueprints in front of him, the empty garage slowly became a futuristic workshop. As the final monitor powered on, Nova appeared as a shimmering holographic figure. Laboratory setup complete, she announced. Ethan looked around proudly. It isn't much. Nova tilted her head. Correction. Every great technological empire begins with limited resources. Ethan laughed. I'll remember that. The next morning, Ethan stood inside the Neo Haven Business Registration Office. A clerk looked up from her computer. Ethan paused for a moment. Countless names crossed his mind, but only one felt right. Coal Technologies. The clerk typed the name into the system before smiling. Congratulations, Mr. Cole. Your company has officially been registered. She handed him a digital certificate. For several seconds, Ethan simply stared at it. After everything that had happened at Technova, he finally had something that belonged entirely to him. Walking outside, he looked at the company registration once more. Coal Technologies, he whispered. A smile spread across his face. It has a nice ring to it. Back inside the garage, Nova appeared beside him. Congratulations. Ethan grinned. Thanks. Probability of company survival after 1 year? 12%. Ethan stared at her. 12%? Correct. You're not exactly encouraging. My purpose is accuracy, not motivation. Ethan shook his head with a laugh. I guess I'll just have to prove your calculations wrong. Nova's expression remained calm. I would be pleased to update my statistics. Although Ethan now had a company, he still lacked something even more important. Without funding, Coal Technologies would never grow. Following Nova's advice, Ethan arranged a meeting with Daniel Brooks, a respected entrepreneur known for investing in promising startups. They met at a quiet coffee shop overlooking Neo Haven City. Daniel studied Ethan carefully before speaking. I've heard what happened at Technova. Ethan nodded. So you know why I'm here. Daniel folded his hands. Most people would have given up after something like that. I almost did, Ethan admitted. But then I realized something. Daniel raised an eyebrow. What was that? They stole my invention, Ethan leaned forward, but they didn't steal my mind. Daniel smiled for the first time. I like that answer. Still, he wasn't convinced. So, Daniel asked. Without saying a word, Ethan reached into his backpack and carefully placed a small metallic cube onto the table. He pressed a button. The cube slowly lifted into the air, floating effortlessly several inches above the tabletop. The people sitting nearby immediately turned to watch. Daniel's eyes widened. What kind of battery is this? It isn't just a battery, Ethan replied. It's the beginning of something much bigger. Daniel picked up the floating cube, examining it from every angle. After several moments of silence, he looked back at Ethan. You're either a genius, he smiled, or completely insane. Ethan laughed. I'm hoping for genius. Miles away, inside the luxurious headquarters of Technova Corporation, Richard Hawkins stood in front of a massive holographic display. Victor Drake entered the office, carrying a digital report. "We've confirmed it." Hawkins didn't even turn around. "Confirmed what?" "Ethan Cole has started his own company, Cole Technologies." For several seconds, Hawkins remained silent. Then he smiled. "So, he survived." Victor nodded. "He appears to have found an investor." Hawkins walked toward the window overlooking Neo Haven City. "I underestimated him." He turned toward Victor. "I won't make that mistake again." Back at the garage, Ethan welcomed his first employee. Sophia Reyes looked around the workshop before folding her arms. "So let me get this straight. You want me to leave a stable engineering job?" She looked around the cluttered garage. "To work here?" Ethan smiled awkwardly. "It's technically a startup." Sophia laughed. "It still looks like a garage." Instead of arguing, Ethan activated the anti-gravity cube. It floated gracefully into the air. Sophia's playful expression disappeared. She slowly stepped closer. "Okay," she smiled. "Now you've got my attention." Over the following weeks, the tiny team worked harder than ever. Ethan built hardware. Sophia developed software. Daniel searched for investors. Nova guided them with knowledge centuries ahead of their time. Money remained scarce. Meals were simple. Sometimes instant noodles were all they could afford. Yet no one complained. Each day brought them one step closer to their dream. Finally, after countless sleepless nights, Ethan placed the finishing touches on their first commercial prototype. He pressed the activation switch. The device came to life instantly. "It works," Sophia whispered. Ethan smiled with relief. "I told you it would." Nova immediately analyzed the invention. Performance exceeds all expectations. Company success probability has increased to 27%. "Only 27? Ethan joked. "For now," Nova replied. A few days later, one of their first customers uploaded a demonstration video online. At first, only a few hundred people watched. Within hours, the video had spread across every major social media platform. Sophia burst into the workshop, holding her tablet. "Ethan!" He looked up from his workbench. "We're trending!" Daniel rushed over. The view counter continued climbing. 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. The entire workshop fell silent. Ethan smiled. "This," he looked at his team, "is only the beginning." Far away, inside Technova headquarters, Hawkins watched the viral video with cold eyes. "I want every piece of information on Cole Technologies." Victor nodded. "Immediately." That evening, Ethan stepped outside the garage and looked up at the newly installed company sign. Cole Technologies. For the first time since losing everything, he felt hope. Nova appeared beside him. "This is not your destination." Ethan smiled. "I know." As the lights of Neo Haven City shone in the distance, neither Ethan nor his team realized that far more powerful enemies had begun watching their every move.